Hello, welcome back to our countdown to Christmas. Today is the 3rd of December and we've got another video for you where we're going to compare two Necron units, talk about the advantages, disadvantages, and then kind of give you my preference on which of the units I would select from. Now yesterday's video was Trazyn the Infinite against Amrakir the Traveller, so if you missed that one, check out the playlist, you'll find that video there. But today's video, the Canoptek Tombstalker versus the Canoptek Tomb Sentinel. So two very similar units that come from the Forge world, of course. And also guys, don't forget there is a giveaway this December. Every single video right up to Christmas Eve, you've got a chance of winning this box set, which is the Combat Patrol box set for the Necrons. To win the video now, in the top right there will be the video explaining all the rules and how you're going to actually enter this competition. So hopefully you'll be commenting down in the comments below your favourite unit. Right, so let's get on to today's video. Put this away first. The Canoptek Tombstalker and the Canoptek Tomb Sentinel. Now the Tombstalker is 90 points and the Tomb Sentinel is 110 points, so there is a 20 points difference there. But let's firstly compare their datasheets. So there's only actually one real difference in their datasheet, and that's the amount of attacks that they get. The Tombstalker is getting 6 attacks and the Tomb Sentinel is only getting 4. So in this case the cheaper model actually has the better stat line here. Now let's move away from the stats for a moment and talk about their abilities. Well, they've both got the dimensional translocation ability, they've both got the ability to deep strike, and also they have got the gloom prisms as part of their war gear. So there's not really much between them in terms of abilities, and in fact their weaponry isn't that much different either, well the melee side of it anyway. Tombstalker claws and the Tomb Sentinel claws are the exact same profile, both strength 7 minus 2 AP and 2 damage, so you can't separate them there either. However, Tombstalker has got the 2 Gorse slices. 24 inch range, rapid fire 1, strength 5 minus 1 AP and 1 damage. Not the best of weapons to be honest with you. Whereas the Tomb Sentinel has got what I would consider the better option here. So they've got the Exile Cannons. These are 18 inch range, heavy D6, strength 10 minus 4 AP and a flat 3 damage. It also does have the blast keyword attached to this weaponry. Now in fact I used a couple of these in a match I played today using the Cult of the Cryptek. I brought 2 of them to the table and then they actually did okay to be honest with you. So far more superior than the 2 Gore Slices that the Tombstalker has. Now we can't really split them in terms of synergy, but I'm going to mention a couple of things anyway. So the Chronomancer for the Invuln save and a rerollable charge roll, the Technomancer for the failsafe overcharger, so they're getting D3 additional attacks, and a +1 to the hit rolls with a control node on top of that. So synergy wise I can't also split them. So then we come on to their overall purpose within the game. Now the Tombstalker is quick, it's cheap, it can tie up units that distract and steal objectives, whereas the Tomb Sentinel can actually do all that but even more, because it's also got that big gun which is strength 10. So yeah, it's going to be an alternative for your heavy support selections. In fact I think it's probably better than a Canoptek Doomstalkers and our Doomsday Arcs, because there's no D6 damage attached to it, it's just a flat 3. So in fact let's get into our advantages and disadvantages for both these units. Starting off with the Canoptek Tombstalker, advantages are, well, they're 20 points cheaper. So if you wanted to go cheap and cheerful, that is the better option. The range of the weapon is 24 inch as opposed to 18, so you've got a slightly better range in terms of the range attacks. We're just purely talking about advantages against the Tomb Sentinel. And the final advantage is the fact that it's got 2 additional attacks there. At strength 7 minus 2 AP, 2 damage, they're obviously slightly better in melee. Now as for the disadvantages for the Tombstalker, well, they've got a poor ranged attack. Rapid fire 2 at strength 5 minus 1 AP, 1 damage, I don't think that's something to write home about. It just doesn't feel like an elite model, does it? Now let's get on to the advantages and disadvantages for the Tomb Sentinel. So this is an alternative to your anti-tank options. Now I would argue it's a better option in fact than some of the ones we do have, purely because of that 3 damage as opposed to D6. Now there are a few more disadvantages with the Tomb Sentinel. First of all, they're 20 points more, although I suppose you are paying for that Exile Cannon. They're only 18 inch range. Now even though the damage is a flat 3, it still only has D6 attacks, which can be very random at times. Now it's only 18 inch range, so you do have to get fairly close in order to fire it, which then relates to another problem, which is the next point in fact. It's got the blast ability attached to the weapon and you cannot fire that into combat. So if you get in within 18 inch range to fire it in the first place, the chances are you're going to eventually get caught in combat and then you cannot actually fire this weapon. Okay, you can fall back and fire, but remember this thing isn't core. You're not going to get, say, a real warden to get it out of combat and then fire it. Okay, there is the command protocol of Conquering Tyrant, but that is at a -1 to hit penalty, and these guys already hit on a 4+. So that kind of brings me on to the summary of this video today. So both of them are kind of comparable to one another, and one of them, in fact, the Tomb Sentinel, is comparable to some of our heavy support options, whether it's the Canoptek Tombstalker or the Doomsday Arc. Slightly cheaper options in fact, which is why I kind of like it really, but it kind of depends on where you want to go. There's a fork in the road here. Do you want a unit that's just going to distract models, tie up models, or do you want a unit that can do that but also have that heavy gun on top as well? For me, I personally would be selecting the Canoptek Tombstalker Sentinel. I'd rather pay the 20 points more. As mentioned, I used a couple in today's game. They've done a ton of work on a Trigon and also got rid of 3 or 4 Tyranid warriors, so I think they've done their job, all while screening off a certain area of the board, I guess. So guys, that is the end of the video today. Don't forget to like and subscribe on your exits. Thank you all for watching. See you tomorrow.